Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Especially, I am saying hello to all Zdenek's English podcast listeners, as well as viewers of the Teach Zdenek YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode. And the first thing you may have noticed is that I sound a bit different, and this is because I am testing a new headset. At first, I thought the sound was awful, but I think I may have figured it out. So, you tell me what you think. Please give me some feedback. I will be glad if you do that. And without further ado, let's introduce our guest today. Um, she is a friend of mine. Her name is Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Zdenek. How you doing?
I'm all right. Welcome
Mhm.
to the next English podcast.
Mhm. My first time
So,
being here, so I'm
yeah,
excited.
hopefully not the last time.
I'm sure it's not the last time. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, well, it depends on your and my performance, I guess, and the performance of the headset as well.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah. Although this doesn't make much sense, right? If
Mhm.
I don't invite you next
Yeah.
time because of my bad headset, that doesn't make
Maybe
any sense.
maybe next time we'll be with Czech podcast instead.
Maybe
Yeah.
because my listeners of the English podcast may know that I also happen to have a Czech podcast for people who are learning Czech. These two podcasts have nothing in common except that I am the host. The- Each of them is in a completely different language. It has in 99% of cases a completely different audience. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk
Mhm,
about today. I want to interview you, Debbie. Debbie, you are Vietnamese. You are from
mhm,
Vietnam. In
mhm.
fact, you are my second ever Vietnamese guest. Do you know who was the first one?
Hmm. I cannot remember. Or I don't know. Yeah. You can give me the hint.
I will give you a hint.
Hmm.
Fu 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 fu
Ah, Pupita.
Fufita. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Have you heard that episode?
Not yet. I will
Not
try
yet.
to listen after this podcast. Yeah. Hmm.
It's your homework now.
Okay.
Yeah, I did record one with Fufita, and
Hmm.
you know her, so that's why
Yeah.
this might be interesting. But
Hmm.
as I said, you are Vietnamese, and I met you in Vietnam,
Yeah.
and we became friends. But is there more to the story? Would you mind telling our listeners how we actually met?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So actually, I met Zdenek via my current husband. Before, like we live in Da Nang, and then, like one time I remember you post on some Facebook group that you are
Yes.
considering to move to Vietnam, and
Hmm.
then my husband just like, oh, he's Czech, and then I should connect with him, but like he's very introvert, and then suddenly he just like connect with a stranger. So I feel like this is weird. And then actually he also asked you to give him some mustard from Czech.
No, I thought he was actually it wasn't like that. I thought he was being very nice to me because I
Yeah.
was about to go to to Asia for the first time ever. I had never flight.
Mhm.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound right.
Hi, my name is Sybil and I'm from Switzerland. I like the Achievers Chamber because I learn a lot in a fun way.
For more information about the Achievers Chamber, go to teachersdenek.com.
I
Yeah.
was about to go to to Asia for the first time ever. I had never flight.
Mhm.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. Let me say that again. I had never flown to to such a far away place. So for me, I have to say that I was a bit stressed. Yeah, I was a bit
Mhm.
stressed, nervous, and it was nice to connect with someone who was living in the place that I was going to. Yeah. So Vojta was being very helpful, and
Mm.
I thought I might, no, I should probably reciprocate. Yeah, I should return the favor in one way or another. So I said, "Hey, um, do you want me to bring
Mhm.
something for you from the Czech Republic?" Or, and he said, "Yeah, sure. Buy
Mm.
mustard for me, Czech mustard."
Yeah.
Which is a
That's
weird request, and I was not sure how I was going to do it, because usually in the Czech Republic they sell mustard in those cup plastic
yeah.
cups, and you can
It is.
imagine what happens when it sort of
Yeah. It
when it
happened to me once here.
accidentally opens. It did happen, yeah.
Yeah. Very related. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is so. And then yeah, and then after that, you guys met,
Hmm.
and then he also introduced me to you,
Yes.
and then we play board game together, and then it's very
Right.
kind of a lot of fun times before we move to
Yeah.
officially to Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's
So,
that's what happened, because I met
mm,
fantastic new friends. You were a
hmm,
couple, of course, at the
yeah,
time, a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
yeah.
And you were the girlfriend, I believe. He was the boyfriend. Just to clarify, just to clarify that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly in our relationship.
Well, sometimes it's the other way around. Yeah. the
You
the
can ask
girlfriend
him
plays
more.
the role of the boyfriend, and so on. We live in the 21st century, so anything is
Hmm.
possible. Well, anyway, I'm getting off track now. Um, Basically, I met really good friends here, and we spent a lot of time together, and we hung out a lot. We played board
Mm.
games. We drank some alcohol together as well. And then you decided to go to the Czech Republic out of nowhere. You were like, "Oh, by the way," one day you told me, "By the way, Zdenek, we are not going to stay here. We're just gonna
Hmm.
go to the Czech Republic because what was the main reason, Debbie? Tell us."
Uh-huh. The reason is that we want to yeah, settle a family in Europe, and
Hmm.
we choose Czech Republic as his home country, and also familiar. And I also visited Czech Republic over last year. And during
Yeah,
my trip, I spent like mostly like half of the time
yeah.
in Czech Republic. So I really like it, and I think,
Hmm.
oh, this is a good chance. And yeah, and then there's so many reasons later we can
Yeah.
share. Yeah, but I think
But you also got married, right? You also got
yeah,
married,
yeah, we got
right?
married around 3 months ago. It's kind of
Hmm.
fast,
Yeah.
but also like kind of a beautiful journey so far. Yeah.
But you had known each other for a long time. It wasn't an arranged marriage or something, so that you get to the Czech Republic and Europe, right? Nothing.
No,
No,
no.
no, no.
Yes, we also plan to do that, but we think that okay, this is a good time for
Yeah.
us to settle the
Settle
family,
down. Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also like do we find new job here, get along with the culture and everything.
Hmm.
Yes, so for me, I think this is very kind of interesting experience so far.
I bet it is. But I just want to
Mm.
clarify. You had known Vojta for
Yeah,
about 2 years before before you
yeah,
got married.
yeah, it
Uh,
is.
all right. So that's cool. And I'm also curious about your name. It doesn't sound very
Mhm.
Vietnamese to me. So
Okay.
explain that to me. Do you have like American roots or?
No. My Vietnamese name actually is Bùi Thị Ngọc Bích.
What?
Yeah, but
Say it again. Bùi
okay,
thị Đục.
Bích.
But
Yes, exactly.
but
Uh-huh. Yeah.
mhm. From now
Mhm.
on, I'm gonna call you but.
But that could be very hard for you to pronounce, I guess.
But I can say
Uh,
it, right? But is
okay,
it
that's
correct?
good.
But.
Yeah, yeah, it's correct. No,
Hmm.
I'm the reason I choose my name as Debbie, because back in the day when I work in a Australian company, and we have
Hmm.
a lot of Australian customer because we are offshore outsourcing company,
Hmm.
and in order to let customer not confused with our name, and then our clientele mainly in Australia, so
Hmm.
we choose our own nickname
Yeah.
uh, for work. So since then, everyone knows me as Debbie, and
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm familiar, and I think that name is also nice. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. It's
getting along the way until now. Yeah.
yeah. It has a nice ring to it. And as you said, you chose this name. So
Yeah.
that's quite common here in Vietnam for people to choose their own sort of nickname, which sounds more English,
Mm-hmm.
because especially that's what the school children do, or
Yeah.
teenagers when they are learning English. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's the English teacher who gives them this name. I already have experience with doing that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. So your name is Debbie, and I think I'll stick to Debbie because that's how I got to know you, and it would be very hard for me to relearn your name now and start saying but. Was it but?
But
But yeah, it's
yes,
like but. It's not so hard actually. It's like but. Yeah.
no, like in Czech it would be big, big.
Big.
Yeah.
And the spelling is kind of funny because the spelling it looks like the word beach, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm so trying to prevent, so everyone would be like questioning, like
What's
how
your
to
name?
pronounce
Yeah.
correctly.
Can you write the
Yeah.
name for me, please? And then you write it, and they are like, "Oh, your name is Beach."
Yeah, yeah. I got that experience back in the day, like when it's school like 2012, when I was in
Yes.
Singapore working 1 year over
Hmm.
there, and then like still do my Vietnamese name, and then some of the customer I work in Resort World Sentosa, and there's a lot of customer in a day, and then they look at my name, and then some laughing, like especially teenagers, they
Okay.
laughing, and then they talking to each other. Some come to me and ask how I can pronounce your name, and then so yeah, it's kind of fun, and
Yeah.
also like sometimes like it a bit embarrassed moments, because after that I found out, oh, okay, maybe it
The spelling.
translates for
The spelling is actually B-I without T,
yeah.
B-I-C-H, right? There's no T,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like that word. And you know what a human mind is capable of, yeah? We don't even need to see the whole word, and we suddenly think in that way. You know
Mm-hmm.
how they sell T-shirts like with the word fuck,
Yeah.
which doesn't contain one of the letters, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows what
Mm-hmm.
this is about,
It
right?
is.
So yeah. Okay, that's cool. So so it's funny because now you are living in my country, in the Czech Republic,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
country I was born, and the country that I spent most of my life in. And I'm living in your country, the country you were
Mm-hmm.
born, and the country you spent most of your life in. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, I think we also got to talk about this one before, right? Like it's like we imagine ourselves how I speak Czech, and then you will speak Vietnamese. I
Yeah.
hope.
But it's yeah, this is the I think you have more motivation than me because
Mhm,
you have made a decision. You married Vojta, you married Vojta,
mhm,
and now it looks like you would like to settle down, potentially even have kids.
mhm.
I don't know. I shouldn't be asking about these things. I think it's quite
Mhm,
private, but potentially, yeah.
mhm,
In the Czech Republic. So for you to learn Czech, you have a great reason to really get into the language,
mhm.
very like study it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I know, first of all, I know I can get away with speaking English here because everybody in Vietnam wants to practice their English with me, right? That's one problem.
Mm.
And the second thing is, it's bloody hard to learn Vietnamese. And you're I don't know. I think you're smart. You learn fast. But when it comes to me, I just love the English language so much that
Mm.
this is my first foreign language, and to learn another one, I know how much effort it takes to learn a foreign language. I know what you have to do to learn it to this level.
Mm.
And the idea of having to learn another one, it's too much responsibility. It's too much commitment for me right now. I
Mm.
may change my mind in the future, although I have tried to learn a few phrases, but it's nothing. It's
Mhm.
nothing anywhere close to being
Yeah.
able to speak the language. It's just
Mm.
a few phrases. So
Mm.
anyway.
I think we put ourselves in a language school for something like a military training in
Hmm.
like kind of more than few hundred hours something. And I think we will get used to it, and then we go out
Yeah,
there and
yeah.
speak with cashier, or we speak
Hmm.
with people. Yeah, actually that's what I learned. That's how I learned like Czech
By
right now.
by speaking to a cashier.
Yes, it is.
is that, is that how you learn a foreign language these days? It sounds like a groundbreaking method to me, Debbie.
Mhm.
Learn a foreign language by talking to a cashier. Someone
Yeah.
should make a course or something.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting experience to me because when I learned actually when I got here I subscribed into a enrolled into a class
Hmm.
like 6 weeks intensive training. Every day I learn 5 hours at school.
Yeah.
For sure, it's got break time, but after that, after school, I go to the park, I go to the supermarket, I go
Hmm.
to the street, and then I ask people about the direction, about
Ah.
like in the supermarket, I ask where is this stuff and where is
So
that stuff.
wait a second, Debbie. Do
Yeah.
you actually do this because you need to know the information, or do you ask people for directions just to practice? Do you
Oh.
know what's your primary goal? Because
Mhm.
I just wonder, because someone who really wants to learn a foreign language might take it even this far, that they would
Um.
intentionally practice English even if they don't need, or Czech, even if they don't need that information. So
Hmm. Actually, I do it for my own personal need. For example,
mhm,
I go to supermarkets because we also need to buy stuff for the home cooking. So and
yeah,
also example, we here actually in Czech Republic it could be similar to Vietnam. We can all do online shopping for some
yeah.
essential stuff at home. For example, we
Mhm.
go to Shopee or we go to OB, like the furniture shop anywhere. I will just ask
Okay,
them.
Debbie, you are breaking up for me. I don't know what's happening, but you might have to repeat what you just said. Are you there, Debbie? Have I lost you, Debbie?
Oh,
Hello, Debbie. Welcome back.
oh, sorry. I think my internet got problem or somehow
Hmm.
we lost you.
That's okay. We lost connection. It happened to me yesterday. I couldn't even start my lesson yesterday. Yeah,
Mm,
so it was a bit disappointing. But you're back, and that's the most important thing here.
mhm,
So
mhm,
we are talking about how you have been trying to learn the Czech language, and I think these are some nice tips for anyone who
mhm,
is trying to learn a foreign language. So
mhm,
you're trying to immerse yourself
mhm.
in the language, get a lot of
Yeah.
exposure, and have opportunities to practice. And so is it hard for a Vietnamese person to learn Czech?
Yeah, I think not only Vietnamese, but for every foreign learners, because
Mm.
in my class we have Europeans too, like this from Russia, from Latvia, from Belarus,
Mm.
or some other countries, for example,
Mhm.
China, or
Okay.
um, India,
Okay.
or America. So most of them have same commands. Czech is very complicated. Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, it's the grammar is quite of different than English. So at
Yeah.
first, in the first 2 weeks, I will still have the mindset converting English grammars to Czech.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure, some still applying, like for all of the language, but some is not really working. So after that, I slowly switch my mindset to be like just
Your
like
mindset.
focus.
You're talking about your mindset. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Sort of.
yeah. Because I
Hmm.
even I compare too much from this language to the other. Why is be like this or like that? Then I will feel confused myself.
Hmm.
So I just learned that okay, this is how everyone will speak, and how it's supposed to be that way, because sometimes
Yeah,
language is about a natural process, right? And
absolutely.
yeah, and then I like kind of I have some simple sentences to start with, and
Hmm.
it's also like the basic of the daily communication. That's
Yeah,
why instead of choosing online shopping, like want to buy something in a house, we move to the new place, so we go to IKEA instead and ask people here and there, and I look at the stuff in the mall. So I see, oh, okay, this is the vocabulary, and then I have the image of that,
yeah.
so I learn it faster. Then
Yeah,
and then
you
I
have a
just like,
visual connection. There is an association. You create an image in your head. I know
yeah,
exactly what you mean because
yeah,
there are some signs I see here in Vietnam all the time, and eventually I will ask my girlfriend or a Vietnamese person, "Hey, what does this mean? I see it here all the time," and then they tell me, "Oh, this means that." Yeah, then I forget it next day, but the chances
yeah,
are I may I may remember it
yeah.
or
No
later. Yeah.
worries. It could be the
Hmm.
same to me in Czech. Like some of the thing I could learn very fast, one or two times, but some of the vocabulary or like something, I will have to repeat like at least 5 times, and I
Yeah.
remember. And or some way like if swap the words, which is very funny. Like people don't understand, or like even my husband, when I ask him something, he cannot
Yeah.
relate. But I think the best way for me to learn the language, especially learn catch up the new language now, is that I
Pick up. Pick
learn
up a
and I
new.
pick up.
Yep.
Yeah, I learn
Hmm.
and go outside and pick up the context together with the work.
Exactly.
So like there's
Exactly.
association between
Exactly.
the work
Exactly.
and the
Because it's
context.
the strongest tool our brain has, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always easier if you use some existing knowledge
yeah,
and you attach new
yeah,
knowledge to it rather
exactly.
than trying to learn a completely new knowledge.
Yeah.
you know
It
so
is.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
And a lot of studies have been made about this, and this is one of the things that I say to all my students. By the way, speaking of my students, you have actually taken some Czech classes with me as well, right,
Yeah.
lately?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's kind of interesting because
Yeah.
I have I study from school, and then from the school has summer vacation now, so I have a another private tutor, and then you
Yeah,
are maybe
I
like the
recommended
second.
this
Yeah,
teacher to you actually, yeah. And then
yeah,
we also took a few lessons because I think it's like a different approach, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
because we are friends, so we can talk
Yeah.
about
Yes.
uh, some
Mm-hmm.
basic stuff and
Yeah.
about our lives. I like to teach like this in general. I like to talk
Mm-hmm.
about my students' lives and just use the language in a sort of natural, authentic
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
I think it's like approaching the language in different kind of
Yeah.
ways is good, because it's
Hmm.
create your brain with a dynamic. Like for example, I learn not only from you or like someone, but I can also talk with different people with different tone or different
Oh yeah,
usage,
accent. You mean
but
different
accent.
accent? Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's with different accent. Then it could
Yeah,
be
you're right.
creating myself with a responsive learning. I think, especially,
You will get used to different accents, and your listening skills will naturally develop,
yeah,
and then you will pick up new words, and it's all connected. Yeah.
yeah.
But with your husband, you speak English or Vietnamese?
Yeah, unfortunately, we just speak English for the moment. No
Hmm.
Vietnamese, no Czech. So,
Hmm.
but I hope in the near future, when I have already a certain amount, but sometimes we still speak and ask something in Czech,
Okay.
just to practice, but not
Hmm.
fully
Yeah.
100%, because my vocabulary is still a bit
Limited.
limited.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
but I will give it a time, like you said before. Yes,
Ah,
so yeah, I will give it the time, so I will just we both combine English and Czech. And sometimes I ask, most of the time when we go out, I ask a lot. like,
A lot of
what is this?
questions about the
Yeah.
language. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, what is this? Why is that? Why people put that sign over there? Or
Oh
like,
yeah.
what is
Well,
this one?
it's another very useful tip, yeah, because I see a lot of people don't ask enough questions.
Yeah.
Of course, you don't want to come across as someone annoying who asks too
Yeah.
many questions, but
Hmm.
there is time for it, and I like it when my students ask me a lot of questions. So
Yeah.
that would be the time for it.
Yeah.
Or if you are with your boyfriend and you are having a good time, I don't think it's a problem. Of course, when your boyfriend or husband has to work hard or doesn't want to be disturbed, that's a different story, right?
Hmm.
But if there is always
Understand.
time for
Yeah.
asking such questions, in my opinion,
Hmm.
and why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It is at first, for example, when you go to the store and we want to ask about, recently we look for a fridge, and
Hmm.
also like look for a coffee machine. I will let him speak with the people in Czech first, and then I will
Ah,
just try to listen and catch up
yeah.
some words. And after that, I will ask him what is the main.
Pick up, not catch up.
Pick
Pick
up,
up some
yes,
words.
pick
Yeah.
up some work, and
Yeah.
then I will ask him what is the how is the guy advice, and then I
Hmm.
say, oh, okay, at least I can understand something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can, Debbie. You can also say to catch. Yeah. So basically, you pick up the words, or
Hmm.
you catch. You're trying to catch, meaning like trying to understand the meaning and
Hmm. Hmm.
from context. So that you could say catch. I'm trying to catch the word. Catch, but pick up. I would say pick up means to sort of acquire it.
Hmm.
Acquire
Okay.
it.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
But your English seems to be great because I have met a lot of Vietnamese people here, and okay, Fufita was the first one. Well, actually, you were the first one, but Fufita on my podcast proved that her English was great, and
Mm.
I would like to meet more people like that.
Hmm.
Yes. You are obviously a very proficient English speaker or advanced, let's say advanced
Thank you for that.
English.
Maybe that is
Bec-
overrated for me right
Well,
now.
you're advanced. You make
Yeah.
mistakes, but
Yeah.
most English learners make mistakes. You are not an English
Hmm.
teacher, right?
Hmm.
So, but tell me, how did you get to this English level? Because I'm sure there might be some listeners listening to you now, and they are
Hmm.
impressed by your English. I might have some even listeners from Vietnam or
Hmm.
neighboring Asian countries from South from Southeast Asia. So, how can they get to this level? How can they speak like you?
Hmm. I think the most important factor is that we have to get into the environment
Hmm.
where we can speak, listen, and talk. Like, because before, I remember it's really long time ago, like about more than 10 years ago. Actually, I learned language at school. English language. My major is British and American literature and culture.
Oh, at university. Was that at
Yeah,
university?
at the university, and
So you
then we
studied
study
literature. You studied literature at
and
university.
phonetics and everything.
Okay.
Actually, it's everything about English,
Wait,
but
wait, wait. So
we,
it's not just literature. So you studied linguistics as well.
yeah,
So what was the name
let's
of the field? What was the name of the field? So was
they
it
just
like
call like English major, and then
mm,
there's so many sub major, and then
subjects and minors?
subject. But you
Hmm.
also will have to study the basics in the first 2 years. You
Hmm.
also learn very basics like about
Yeah.
semantics, phonetics,
Hmm.
phonology,
So
everything.
so you studied what I studied to become an
Yeah.
English teacher. I also had to study all these linguistic disciplines.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that is pretty cool.
But my path before, I was aiming to work in the embassy, like for foreign diplomats something. But
Yeah,
after
I
that,
might
yeah.
need someone like you because I'm struggling with the visa. Or every single time there are some problems. Yeah, so I'm trying to get a visa here, like a proper visa. Yeah, and it has been taking too long now. So I might need some connections like you. You could pull some strings for me,
Uh-huh.
Debbie.
Uh, Actually, it's different story from my experience. Yeah, but anyway, I think the key point is to get into the English speaking environment.
Hmm.
But for sure you don't have and always have the chance to do that. Then myself, my personal tip is that I go to watch some online videos about some
Hmm.
knowledge, because for me myself, I really like to learn new
What
things.
what kind of videos, Debbie?
For
I hope they are
example,
appropriate videos. Nothing inappropriate, yeah?
uh, let's say, for example, I want to acquire the knowledge of computer science, or not too big idea like that. For example,
That's a bit
Goo-
that's a bit too difficult for
Google.
me, Debbie. Can you make
Uh,
it can you
yeah.
computer science, can you go
Okay.
for something simpler, like maybe
Okay. Sure.
how to make myself an omelette or something like
Okay. Let's say it's very simple. Like um uh mainly I follow the uh podcast, or like the YouTube channel from
Mhm.
TED Education.
Okay, TED, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that. And then
Mhm.
I also want to acquire some knowledge about the life and everything, like where where are the birds going in winter. Yeah,
Okay.
so for example, very basic thing like that, or
Mhm.
something related to my work. For
Mhm.
example, how I can become a product manager. For example, how I can learn HTML,
Oh my
CSS, something.
goodness.
Yeah, it's something related to my knowledge, but I will make an
So
example.
wait. So you studied English literature and in the English language. That was your major. But now, what is your job in the Czech Republic? You keep talking about computer science here, HTML. So it looks like you are an IT nerd or something. So tell us, would you like to shed some light on this? What is your actual job? Or are you working in the Czech Republic as a secret spy, or are you
No.
trying to hack the Czech government or something?
No, not like that. I'm very kind of a decent person here.
Hmm.
Um,
Glad
uh,
to hear that.
I have a background in language, as you know. I
Hmm.
work in different jobs, roles, and
Yep.
recently I learned on code camp, like coding camp. They put you into practice of the computer science in
Hmm.
Vietnam, and I in Vietnam I also have a certain have 6 months before I move here. I work at business analyst for a tech
Okay.
company.
You
Uh,
work as a business analyst. Hmm.
exactly, yeah. And
Hmm.
here in Czech, I also want to pursue my career in technology.
Wow,
So
I love this collocation. Everyone, did you hear that? Pursue my career. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it is because I like the technology world, and so many things to uncover
Mhm.
in that. So I apply to different tech roles, but then anyway, I got an offer in the technical support role for
Mhm.
a work automation tool. Which I will review the name later, but
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to
yeah.
tell us yet. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So it's exciting role because it's very going to the fundamental. I go support on the basic technical issues, some
Mhm.
related to bugs, some related to customer
Wait. So this is
usage.
something. So is that a Czech or international company you will be
Uh,
working for?
yeah, it's international environment,
Okay.
but owned by Czech. Yeah, Czech.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but it's very
So
interesting.
will you be working from home, or is there
Uh,
an
we have,
office?
yeah, we have a very flexible setup, like either work from
Hmm.
home or in the office. But for the
Okay.
moment, I still prefer to go to the office because it's interesting company. They have like 42 nationalities in the company.
Whoa,
Yeah,
42. Wow.
yeah,
So wait. So you are living in Prague. I think, did we say that?
yeah.
We should
Not
say.
yet, not yet. We
We
haven't
didn't say that.
reviewed.
So you are living in the capital of the Czech Republic, in Prague, and
Yeah.
obviously it's a famous city, and there are a lot of companies, a lot of people investing there, including international companies. But
Hmm.
you found a Czech company to do
Hmm.
with what was it again?
Um,
Automation,
like workflow automation tool.
workflow automation tool. Okay, I will
Yeah.
pretend I understand what it is, and basically it's something to do with. Is it? Is it
For
something to do with artificial intelligence as well, actually?
Mhm. We have something like that. Let me explain about
Hmm.
the
You
product.
don't have to, by the way, reveal the company's know-how and breach your contract. You don't have to do that. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. So the company will help the business to manage their workflow easier. For example, you want
Of
to
course.
have the email receiving from customer, and then you
Yeah.
want to transfer all of those contacts or
Yeah.
contents into your CRM system, and
Okay.
then from that you send a response or like forward the information to
Yeah.
someone else. So it's instead of repeat all of the manual work, like the
Hmm.
admin person have to do all of the paperwork or like send the emails or something, we can really uh, automate all of the
Of
repetition
course. Now I understand.
repetitive.
Sorry, it took me
Yeah,
some time because the
but
label is like it sounds very foreign to me. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
now I understand. Automation is about like making everything smoother, like all the
yeah,
online transactions and communication with customers and all that.
yeah,
Okay, it makes total
it
sense to
is.
me.
Yeah,
So the language you will be speaking is English, I think,
yeah,
in your job, yeah?
yeah.
The language you will be using.
Mhm,
However, will you also have opportunities to speak Czech
mhm.
and Vietnamese? I wonder.
I believe so because in my team we also have Czech, we have American, and we have Croatia. Yeah, uh,
Croatians?
Croatian.
Croatians?
Yes,
And
Croatian.
are you the only Vietnamese person there?
For my team, yes, but for the big company, I'm not so sure because company have around 400
Yeah.
people. So I will
Oh,
spend time to explore.
300 people.
Yeah,
That we don't even have that many people in Prague. How many people are in? Oh my
you
God.
you are going to be surprised. Yeah, but
No,
the
no. There
company,
is, I think in Prague there is 1 million people, about 1 million people, but
yeah.
it's yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, the company have customers in Czech Republic for sure, and in America and all of the countries in the world.
yeah.
So I have a chance to both practice local language, English, and also like I hope there will be some like Vietnamese there to make
Mm,
friends. But I for sure and so like open to be friends with the local because that's how I
mhm.
also learn
Yeah,
catch the language, the words, and learn
yeah,
the language. Yes.
absolutely. So,
Mhm.
so have you met any Vietnamese friends in Prague yet?
Uh, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I just meet some Czech friends or some other foreigners over here. Mhm.
Mhm. That's great.
Mhm.
And do you miss Vietnam?
They are very, very good question and tricky question. Actually, for Vietnam, I miss like something in really kind of the like let's say I miss people is my close friends and
Yeah.
food. I miss phở, bún chả,
What's
and
pho? What's pho? Tell us. I know what it is, but tell us. What's pho?
phở. Phở is like beef noodles or in
It,
usually in sorry.
it's your national dish. It's your national dish, right?
Yes, yes. If
It's a soup.
Vietnamese beef
It's like a soup
noodles, yes, soup.
made full of
Mm-hmm.
noodles and beef and vegetables, and I like it actually. I quite like it.
Mm-hmm.
Pho is one of my
Yeah.
favorite Vietnamese meals. So is it pronounced pho?
Um, it's for now a phở, phở like strong F, strong F, phở.
Pho. I always thought it was pho. Like it isn't it that
Phở.
tone where you have to break it pho?
No, one word is one word. So phở.
Pho.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. And
I
then
feel like
the
people
tone is
pronounce
going,
yeah,
up. I
and
think
then down.
no
No.
phở.
No. Oh
Mhm.
my god. I'm so confused because I feel like different people pronounce it differently.
Yeah, it
And
is.
there are
Also, maybe
people
because you
yeah.
live in the center of Vietnam, so
Hmm.
people will have a different accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
explained.
right because you are
Yeah,
originally from the south of Vietnam, from
yeah,
The Ho Chi Minh City area, from
yeah.
Saigon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have also there is the northern dialect, which is Hanoi, the capital
Yeah,
Hanoi. And I'm in central Vietnam, which is also different, right?
yeah. We have so
Hmm.
many dialects. Yeah, and second thing I miss is bún bò.
Bumbo. What's
Yes,
that?
bún bò is a kind of another kind of beef noodles, but in a bigger kind of noodles. Yeah.
Bumbo. Mm.
Yes. So and then bún chả
And
is
can't you make all of this in the Czech Republic? Like, are you able to
um
actually prepare it as a
uh,
dish?
yes. I think
Yeah.
usually in Vietnam I cook bún bò is the beef
Hmm.
noodles. Myself I cook the broth and I make it myself. But the
Hmm.
lacking there's something is like the ingredients and the
Yeah.
herbs. Like you have Vietnamese basil. Yeah.
So it's
So
different. Yeah.
it's different, but I will
Mhm.
try to cook sometimes. I still go out and bún bò and phở like beef
Mhm.
noodles at the some restaurant, Vietnamese restaurant here. However, the taste is not really perfect, close to the one that
Mhm.
I have in Vietnam for sure, because I still have to like they're missing some ingredients.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand completely what you mean because, for example, when I lived in London, I was unable to find cumin seed, yeah,
Yeah.
which I would
Oh,
normally use for
yeah. It's
cooking
popular here.
potatoes, and
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah.
have cumin seed there, but it just doesn't taste as good as in the Czech Republic. So
Mm.
sometimes you just can't find it. But then again, I think in Vietnam there are so many Vietnamese people. Sorry, in the Czech Republic there are so many Vietnamese people that I would be surprised if you didn't find some Vietnamese shops, like Vietnamese shops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have.
Which
Yeah,
specialize in selling Vietnamese
we
uh,
have. I went
things.
there. Yes,
Hmm.
I usually bring my Vietnamese friends from another country, because they also live. So for some reason, I also have some good Vietnamese living overseas in Europe,
Yeah.
and then they have a trip to Czech Republic, and then I also
Ah.
make a tour for them to go
Ah,
uh,
I see.
to Sapa Market. Is the Vietnamese
Market
markets
in
in Czech
in in
Republic.
is it in Holešovice or where is it? Holešovice.
No, in Praha 4.
Ah,
In
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
Prague 4. Mhm,
it's
mhm,
close to the center too. Hmm.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah. That's it.
go
So
on.
yeah. So I think I miss those things. About the weather, I don't miss so much because
I miss the Czech weather now. The
yeah,
weather was brilliant. The winter was amazing here. I love that so much. Spring was perfect. But
yeah,
now I have to make an official complaint, Debbie, to you as a representative of of the country of Vietnam. The
yeah.
weather sucks. It's too hot. I cannot live without using air conditioning. I cannot sleep without using air conditioning anymore.
Hmm.
Uh, I sweat like a pig. I have to use a fan, and um, it's crazy. You cannot stay
Yeah.
outside for a very long time. I can't even walk on the beach
Hmm.
anymore. It's so hot.
Yeah.
I cannot walk on the beach barefoot.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can walk
It's
like for 10
hard.
seconds and then my feet start burning. Debbie, I'm complaining. But everything
Yeah.
else is great here except the weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
In summer
I believe
it's
so.
too
It's
hot. It's too hot. Yeah.
yeah. When I moved here in the beginning of the of spring, I also can see the difference in terms of weather and the humidity, because
Hmm.
in Vietnam it's quite humid. We next to a
Yeah.
lot of the sea and the beach. So over here it's quite cool. So that's why I think I like the weather over here.
Mm.
Not sure
Yeah.
about the winter if I like it or not,
Yeah.
but here so
Well,
far I like.
you have seen snow though, haven't you? You have seen
Yes,
snow
yes.
in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, because I came
Was that the first time you had seen snow, by the way?
it is
Was
for the Asian person, I
what
think.
did it feel like? What did it feel like to see snow for the first time?
I think it's interesting, like because it's on the very end of winter and beginning of spring, so
Mhm.
there's still a little bit of
So
snow.
that's wait, not now, but when you came, it was
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. Yes, when I first came, it's also like got a little bit of snow, and then like the weather, those like kind of the sky is very
It was
clear.
Debbie. You are confusing me. You have to speak in past tense. Was right?
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
yeah.
The
Because you're
Yes.
talking about February. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. When
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like in no, in March, the
This was in March.
yeah, the sky was like clear, and then suddenly out of
Yeah, yeah.
nowhere it appeared some snows.
Ah, it
And
came out of
then
nowhere, out of the
yeah,
blue.
out of the blue, yeah. And then
Hmm.
wow, it's interesting. And then since then I started exploring that. So many things change, like the nature change with
Yeah, I, I
together with
I
it.
I follow you on Instagram. By the way,
Yeah.
if you want more followers, you could even reveal your Instagram account here. Maybe some of my listeners might be interested to follow a Vietnamese person living in the Czech Republic. If you want,
Uh-huh.
I'll give you the option. If not, I'm
Okay,
okay with this
sure.
too.
Yes, you guys can follow me on my account names at Debbie dot Rotka. It's my last name now.
Sorry, Debbie, you might have to spell it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Debbie dot
Yes. Rot.
Krotka,
Yeah.
which is the name that you took after your husband,
Yes.
which in it's a Czech word, Krotka, and in
Yeah.
English it means tame. So you have been tamed by your husband, who
Let's pretend it could be like that.
yeah. So anyway, we have to spell it out. So Debbie,
Hmm.
Debie dot
Yes. Yep.
Krotka, right?
Yep. That's
So
correct.
this is your Instagram handle. Okay,
Mhm.
so those of you who are watching the video, this is where you can follow Debbie's Instagram and see all the interesting stories that she quite frequently posts there about her experiences of living in the Czech Republic. I think it's quite interesting to
Sorry
see this
about that.
different perspective. Why you
Yeah, yeah,
apologize? Why you
because
apologizing?
I posted recently, like when I go out and or like at home or everywhere, I feel like it's so interesting. Everything you like, let's
Yeah,
imagine like you are a kid to go into the new world, and then you explore
yeah,
things. And
you're right.
sometimes like the setup and the organization, everything is different.
Different, yeah.
So
No,
so you like it?
yeah. That's one of the things I want to ask you about. Like, what are the main differences? Yeah. So obviously there is a lot because it's
Yeah.
a completely different culture.
Uh-huh.
I am sure there will be better. Something will be better. Something will be worse. Something will be easy to get used to. Something will be harder to get used to. So I wonder what for you, besides weather, what is the biggest difference, or what do you have you also have you experienced a culture shock
Mm-hmm.
or something like that?
Yeah. For the differences, I think mainly it's about besides weather, it could be about the um, culture set up over here. Let's say like it's about transportation.
Hmm.
Um, the transportation here is very advanced to me,
Okay.
and very organized. I like
Hmm.
it because,
Yeah.
for example, when I go out from home, I can just catch the bus, and I go to metro, go to
The tube, yeah, the underground. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
and
Oh, this
there's
is
the
Prague.
tram.
Obviously, you are talking about Prague, which is like
Yes,
the capital city. It's not you don't have tube everywhere, but you have buses and trains, I guess.
yeah,
But you
but
have
in
that in
Vietnam,
Vietnam as well, right? You have
we don't.
buses and trains in Vietnam too.
But it's different story because for us in Vietnam, we haven't got the official train in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City.
Ah,
And
okay.
then here is like when you get there's a bus going to the train station, and the train station to go somewhere, like it's very good set up in terms of the master planning, I believe.
Hmm.
So it's, I find the
Infra
convenience.
So the infrastructure is a bit better.
Infrastructure is very good. I like it. And
Mhm.
but also like this, I have a culture shock related to that, because everything is so in order and in time.
Ah,
Like I look at the timetable,
on
sometimes
time, on time.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
really on time. For
Hmm.
example, some days before when I went to school,
Yep.
And before, when I just got here, I live in a place quite far from the center. So every the train will just go in goes in every 30 minutes. If I don't
Well,
catch it,
I
it will
understand,
just,
but sometimes there are delays too, like it's not
yeah, yeah.
perfect.
But they will
Delays can happen
inform.
as well, but
Yeah,
it's
they
not
will
that
inform.
common, let's say, and they will inform you about that.
Yes, yeah, they will
But
inform on
also
the
the main
application. Yeah.
yeah, you have an application. But for me, the main difference is the motorbikes. Yeah, so they are ubiquitous. They are everywhere. You everywhere you go. It feels like 90% of people on the roads
Hmm.
have or are driving a motorbike here in Da Nang, and I
Hmm.
know it's the same in Saigon and Hanoi. It's like I think it's the Vietnam must be the most like the biggest country in terms of the usage of motorbikes and scooters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think it's also used in India too, right? I haven't been to India, but I also heard about read about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think talking about cars and transportation, like the limit speed over here also very high, like 100 and
Ah,
120
the speed
somewhere in
limit.
highway. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
while in Vietnam we have the maximum speed limit is 80 only. Yes, I know.
Really,
Yeah,
really.
in the highway. So
Okay.
sometimes I feel shocked when I go when I go from the train, I go out and then I see the highway and it's super fast,
Hmm.
like I can imagine. And then I see some motorbikes, which is
Yeah,
considered as big in Vietnam, is super small over there. And then everyone had to drive very fast because it's
yeah.
highway. You cannot slow your
Yeah.
speed limit. Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's, I think other than that, I don't have so much in terms of culture shock.
I think it's
Yeah.
because you also knew Voita, and I think as you said, you have lived in different countries,
Mm,
so I think you already have that experience. You are not.
yeah.
You are not. It's the same for me. While
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit there are some culture differences,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I am able to adjust quite easily. I have
Mm,
managed to acclimatize mainly because I have already lived in the UK, which is again completely different place. But
mm,
once you get that experience trying to, uh, make it as a
mm,
foreigner in abroad, then it gets easier each time you do it again, right?
mm. Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
does get easier.
Traveling helps a lot.
Yeah, it does because you open your mind and you
Uh-huh.
become more tolerant to
Mm-hmm.
the differences and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm. Yeah. It's like
tolerant
that.
of I
Mm-hmm.
think tolerant of right tolerant of something I think let me check.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, tolerant of the differences. I should have said. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Debbie, is there anything else you would like to say to the listeners of Zdenek's English podcast and the viewers of the Teachers Zdenek YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think because this is mainly about English podcast, so we
Hmm.
share about learning tips and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sharing how we can acquire a new language, and
Hmm.
also like me again, I acquire a new language. I think it's
Yeah.
amazing experience.
I,
Sometimes you
I
feel annoyed, sometimes you like it.
Wait, wait, wait. Sorry. What do you mean? Oh, learning a new language it can
Yes,
be, it can be an emotional roller coaster. But okay,
yes.
what is it like to be on the podcast though?
On the
What does
podcast.
it feel like to be a guest on a podcast?
Yeah, I feel very interesting experience. Also, at first I'm so nervous. I don't know what to talk because yeah, like there's so many things happen in life for sure. But to share with yeah, to be like really kind of choose the what to share with the learner, whether everyone want to hear uh certain experience from me or not or something. So I
No,
like,
no, 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 no. I knew who I was inviting because I have known you for some time now, so I know you are a good laugh, which is a nice expression. I know you are a good laugh, and that's ultimately the main thing. Yeah. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, I think this
Yeah.
is not your last time on the podcast, but we will see It also
Yeah.
depends on my new headset. Yeah. So see,
Yeah. I hope
we'll
I
see what
have a
happens.
yeah. I hope I have a chance to be in your podcast again in the future when I can share with you some of my new projects, for example,
Absolutely, absolutely.
or some new milestone or some new experience
Hmm.
in life. I
Oh,
think it will be cool and interesting for everyone.
hmm.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
listen.
Why not? I think these are the most popular episodes because it's an interview. I have a
Yeah.
real person here, not a
Yeah.
robot, not a robot, and
Yeah.
with real experiences, with relatable experiences. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
people may
Mm-hmm.
have similar stories,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some struggles as well, and people like to hear about all this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's as I said, it's something they can relate to. So thank you very much for
Mm-hmm.
talking to us, and good luck to you living in the Czech Republic, and say hi to your husband Vojta as well for me.
Thank you. Thanks. And yeah, hope you have a nice time in Vietnam summer.
Mm, yeah, so far so good, except the weather is getting a bit out of
Yeah.
control, but I think it has to peak at some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will peak, I think, in August hopefully, and then it will start getting a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I hope so
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I think you can refer to the movie Forrest Gump back in the day, like American movie Forrest Gump.
I
Yes,
can
you
do
can.
what? Sorry, I didn't get that.
You
What?
can look look for the movie Forrest Gump to find the humor behind the rain in Vietnam.
Sorry, I didn't connect it. I
Ah,
didn't
okay.
join the
Like
dots. So it was Forrest Gump recorded in Vietnam. The scenes
yes.
happen in Vietnam, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
All
it's
right. Yeah.
rained a lot, and then back in the day when it was what happened, and then the soldiers complained a lot about the rains,
Yeah.
like
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
it's rain a lot, it's
Yeah.
rain
Yeah.
day
It
and
rains a
night.
lot. It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
Because you have torrential rains and monsoon rains, right? So
yeah,
uh, when
mhm,
it rains in winter, it rains a lot.
yeah.
It
I
rains
know.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, I think you really enjoy the food and nature and a lot of
Yeah,
adventures,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to be here. I'm happy for
Mm-hmm.
making that decision to come here, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Yeah,
will not regret it.
yeah, and
I
a lot of
haven't I
English.
haven't regretted it, and I don't
Yeah,
think I will regret it. Yes, that's
yes,
it.
a lot of
All right, Debbie. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, so it's
sorry.
good.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I said that you also have a lot of lovely English learners in Vietnam. They also seek
absolutely.
for learning new language. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you very much again, Debbie, and until next time.
yeah.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye
And
bye.
if you are watching this on a YouTube channel, please give this video a like because it will help the channel. Thank you, everyone. Bye, Debbie.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.